Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do my review slash recap of Married at First Sight. On my face. Okay. Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 6. The title is Dark Side of the Honeymoon. But this was really the Chris and Alyssa show. It was the Chris and Alyssa show. Let's get started. It was a long one. I'm going to try and go fast. It's mostly Chris and Alyssa arguing, disagreeing, blah, 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 blah. So let's try and go fast, okay? Okay, first couple is Elijah Juan and Katina. We see Katina and Elijah Juan in bed. They're saying good morning. Katina said Elijah Juan woke up with her. He didn't go to the gym. And then Katina said they're going horseback riding. I would love to go horseback riding. That's on my bucket list. I've never done that before, and that's something I would like to do. Elijah once said he can't wait to see if Katina can ride a real horse. You know what that means? To me, that means they slept together. Because the last episode we saw, they ended off, he was massaging her feet, he had rose petals, he was massaging her hand, blah, 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 blah. And now he's saying he wants to see if she can ride a real horse. Yeah, they slept together. It's no big deal. They're married. Who cares? I just want the people out there to know who didn't know. Okay. So when he says that, I want to see if she can ride a real horse, Elijah One laughs, and then Katina cuts the camera off really, really quickly. Okay, we see them. They're at the horse place. They're getting on the horses. Katina gets a milder horse. She asks for a milder horse. And Elijah One claims he's never ridden before, but I think he's lying. I think he's ridden a horse before because he was handling the horse well. He got on the horse without any problems. He was leading the horse here and there without any problems. He's ridden before. He looks very, very comfortable in the saddle. But Katina, for one thing, her outfit, I don't like the way she dresses. She always wears a full bodysuit. And they cling to her, and they don't look sexy at all. They look nasty. They look like if she was to start sweating, something would not look good. I wish she wouldn't wear those bodysuits, those full, complete bodysuit that just clings to every part of her body. And this one was so long, you couldn't see her foot, you couldn't see her shoes. I don't like the way she dresses, and her wig, they're too long. They're just too long. Anyway, she was sitting on the horse, but she wasn't sitting on the horse properly. She was sitting with her butt at the rim of the saddle, and she was leaned over like this. She's supposed to sit straight up in the saddle, and nobody corrected her. Elijah One didn't correct her. The lady that was there didn't correct her, and she looked uncomfortable and miserable, and she wasn't sitting right in the saddle at all. And her horse is a slow horse. Her horse, the lady told her that her horse would follow Elijah One's horse. So that's how they did it. Elijah One was in front riding, and she was following behind. And then Elijah One, the horse was walking, and she was complaining that they were going too fast. So I guess she wanted the horse to just stand still. I don't know. But at one point, Elijah One, started, he got his horse to walk a little bit faster because he wanted a little bit, more of a jog. But the horse wasn't even jogging, just walking a little bit faster. And she got upset because her horse was doing what his horse was doing. And she got upset. She got pissed. And he says in his confessional that he wasn't going to let his wife stop him from going on adventures that he wants to go on. And I don't understand why she was so upset. The horse wasn't running. He wasn't trotting. He wasn't galloping. The horse was just walking a bit faster. And she got upset. But she was scared. She was scared. I don't know how I would be on a horse. I've never ridden a horse before, so I may be just like her, sitting all up on the saddle, leaned over like this, awkward, scared, terrified. So I shouldn't even say anything because I've never, ever ridden a horse. So that when they get off, when she was complaining about, she was telling him, I'm getting pissed off. Your horse is going too fast. And because his horse is going too fast, her horse is going faster. And she told him to, stop, slow down. And she told him, I'm getting pissed off. He said, stop being so dramatic. That's what he told her. So when they were done riding horses, they went and sat down. And he's talking to her. And he says, I like to push you to see, to make you do things out of your comfort zone. She said, yeah, there's a way of pushing me, and there's a way of not pushing me. And if you push me too far, it's going to be bad. Basically, that's what she said. All right, so next is Jasmina and Mike. We don't see them doing anything. Jasmina and Mike, they're on their little tiny terrace. Some of them get better rooms than others. I noticed that Alyssa's room is better than Chris's room because the balconies are totally different. Totally different. And I noticed that Noise and Steve's balcony is totally different from Jasmina's and Mike's balcony. Jasmina and Mike's balcony is tiny. But they do have a good view. They have a better view than Chris does. So anyway, we see them. They're on their balcony and they're saying good morning and nothing else. We don't really see too much from Michael and Jasmina because, like I said last episode, they have nothing to talk about. Nothing. Next is Chris and Alyssa. We see Chris all by himself. He said Alyssa has been distant. She hasn't talked to him. She doesn't approach him at all off camera to talk. He said she wants him to act husbandly, and he's doing everything she can, and she's doing everything she can to get out of being a wife. She doesn't want you to be husbandly. Where you get that from? She wants you to stay the hell away from her. That's what she wants. So next thing is we see Alyssa by the pool, and she just looked like she got Botox injection. She got a sore on her lips, and her lips are swollen and puffy. She looked like she just got Botox injections. Yep, she sure do. Probably did. And she said she's hopeful today is a good day, and she's hoping that she'll enjoy her day. She says she's trying to keep her head up, and she's trying to stay in the game. What that means, I have no clue. Stay in what game? You want nothing to do with Chris, and you're ignoring him. So stay in what game? What are you talking about? She said it's not easy, but she's still here, and that says a lot. Yeah, it says a lot. It says that you signed a contract, and you have to be there. That's what that says to me. What is she talking about? She signed a contract and she's obligated to be there, or she's going to suffer the consequences. Either pay some money back or I don't know. Next we see Alyssa and Chris. They're about to play tennis. And I think the experts set this up because she doesn't want to do any activities that she'll be touching him or even standing she doesn't even want to be standing like 3 feet away from him. She wants to be standing, she doesn't want to be closer than 3 feet. She just doesn't want to be anywhere near the man. Anyway, they're playing tennis, and she comes to play tennis in flip-flops. Really, that's smart. Smart, Alyssa. And Mark is looking like he knows how to play tennis. Yeah, Mark is looking like he knows how to play tennis. He looks like he knows what he's doing. If I was Mark's age, and he asked me out, I would go with bells on. Mark's all right. He's all right looking. Nothing wrong with him. I don't know what her problem is. Just because he's not as hot as you want him to be does not mean you can't get to know the man. He might get you some real estate for cheap in the country like you like. You like being in the country. Well, let me shut up. Anyway. And if Alyssa was a man, let me stop. I was about to say, I would tell Alyssa to kick rocks. I would tell her to kick rocks because of her stinking attitude. Anyway, let's move on. And Mark is happy that she showed up. Why is this crooked? Let me see if I can make it straighter. Oh, that's better. A little bit better. Don't fall. Probably will fall. Anyway. Yeah, Mark is happy that she showed up to play tennis. He said they fit on paper, and he said she is a fun-loving person to be around. What the hell? I think Mark, I think he's drunk. He's drunk. Anyway, I think he wants this to work because she's probably the best-looking girl he's been with. The girls he probably dated probably don't look, to him anyway, don't look as good as Alyssa. Maybe that's why he keeps trying and trying and trying. Because when she came down the aisle, he was really, really happy with her looks. So maybe this is the best looking girl he's ever gotten. I don't know. I would like to see what the other girls that he's dated look like. So after they were done playing tennis, Mark asked Alyssa, to sit down and talk. When they sat down, he asked her thoughts about moving into the apartment. Yeah, he asked her about them moving into the apartment together after the honeymoon. And Alyssa told him that she doesn't feel comfortable moving into an apartment together. And then she asked him what are his thoughts. And he told her he wanted her to feel comfortable. And then he was saying, I am committed to this. And then she cuts him off. She doesn't want him to say, I'm committed to this process, because it insinuates that she's not committed to the process. So she cuts him off. And what happened next? I think she was talking to the producer. Yeah. She said she feels robbed of the experience. And she said it's not fair if she can't live in the apartment. He's not telling her she can't live in the apartment. He's saying he's going to be living in the apartment and she can make a decision to do whatever the hell she want to do. He didn't say she can't live in the apartment. She's making the decision not to live in the apartment. And now she's belly aching talking about it's not fair if she can't live in the apartment. Nobody's telling you can't live in the apartment. You're deciding not to live in the apartment because Mark will be in the apartment. She's something else. So, that's what he told her. He said, I'm going to move into the apartment and you have a decision to make. You either move in there with me or you don't. And because he didn't say, when she said, I'm not comfortable living in the apartment with you or being in the apartment with you, she wanted him to say, okay, Alyssa, you can move into the apartment. I won't move in the apartment. That's what she wanted him to say. And because he didn't say that, she got pissed off and she gets up and she goes over to the producer. And then one guy, I don't know if it's a producer, he chases after her. She's a spoiled brat. So somebody chased after her. It probably was one of the producers. And he asked her if she wants to move into the apartment. Where were you? She just said she wants to move in the apartment, but she just want to move in the apartment with Chris. Weren't you listening? What the hell? And this person, he just wasn't listening. And then, what did she say when he asked her? Yeah. Yeah, she said she doesn't want to move in the apartment with Mike. Then he says, is it a logistic thing that makes the living in the apartment appealing? And Alyssa, she says she wants to move in. I think she wants to move in the apartment because her apartment is raggedy. I try to go back to see what her apartment looked like, because on the matchmaking episode, they go to their houses and go through their things to see how they're living, and they never went to her house. I did see when Pastor Calvin, or what the hell his name is, went to her apartment and was sitting there talking to her. They only show her couch and her background. They didn't show the house or where she was living, but it didn't look like anything fancy. It looked like maybe it's either a studio or a one bedroom. It didn't look, but Chris has a house. He's a realtor. He has a house. We saw his house. Anyway, Alyssa says she wants to move into the apartment because she loves the other girls. And she said she wants to move in the apartment because she wants to hang out with all the girls. This is not single at first sight. This is married at first sight. You want to hang out with the girls? Those girls are going to be too busy hanging out with their husbands. Sure, the group comes together every now and then, but they don't hang out with each other that often. And she's only known them for 4 days, and she's calling them her girls. She's something else. She got on my nerves. So the producer said, the whole point of this is to move in with your spouse. She doesn't want to move in with him. And the producer is telling her, you know, the whole thing is the reason of this moving to an apartment is to be there with your spouse. She said it's not fair for him to move into the apartment when they're not compatible. What do you mean it's not fair for him to move into the apartment and y'all are not compatible? You are saying that you're not compatible. Y'all are not compatible. He's not saying that. You're saying that. And you're choosing not to be there because he's there. So what the hell does she want? She is a selfish piece of work. She said to the producer, or someone, I don't know if it was a producer or not, if you can't be kind, then don't talk to me. Because she's saying he's not being kind to her. Because he wants to move into the apartment, he's not being kind to her. She said, if you can't be kind, then don't talk to me. Move this over a little. She's ridiculous. Nobody wants to talk to you. I wouldn't want to talk to you. She's lucky she don't get somebody who's going to cuss her out. Chris is being so nice to her. If she would have gotten somebody else who would just cuss her out. She's lucky. She's lucky she got somebody as nice as Chris. He's gone, talking about if he can't be kind, don't talk to her. He's gone above and beyond being kind to her. She just doesn't know how lucky she is. So she have these fake tears running down her face. Then she says, look at him, he's making hand gestures. I'm thinking, Chris throwing up signs? Is Chris throwing up gang signs? She says, look at him, he's making hand gestures. And when the camera showing him, he's swinging his arms like this. He's just, and then the next time they show him, he's pointing like this to the building. Maybe he's saying, oh, that's some good real estate over there. Who knows? But she said, he's making hand gestures. Look at him, he's pointing. You can't point, Alyssa. Nobody can point. Oh, look at that. Look at the bird. Look at the plane. We can't point now? Oh, snap. Oh, my gosh. She says his hand gestures are aggressive. I saw him pointing up to the sky, to a building like that. She said he was being aggressive. And the camera's just showing him pointing. That's all. And the producer number 2 said, he's just doing hand gestures. And Alyssa said, he's pointing. Okay, Mark said he has been patient, but now he is frustrated. And he says he's basically at a loss as to what to do. Next, we see Steve and Noy. We see Steve said that they are headed out to see a waterfall. I love waterfalls. I've been to Niagara Falls twice. The American side and the Canadian side. Beautiful. I love I love waterfalls. Love it. Anyway. Okay, we see Steve and Noy. They get to this river. And the water is green. And I would not get into green water. No. And Steve is another one. He likes to talk crap about you behind your back. In his confessional, he says he's disappointed that Noy is not excited to get in the water. That disappoints you? Because she doesn't want to get in the water? She never said she wasn't going to get in the water. She was kind of scared to get in the water. But that disappoints you? Oh my gosh. Anyway, they disrobe and they're in their bathing suit. And he tries to teach her how to float. And then he claims a fish bit him. And I wonder if it was a fish. Could have been a spider. Anything could be in that damn water. But they have a good time. And that's the end of them. We didn't see much of Jasmina and Michael. We didn't see much of Noy and, what's his name? Steve. And I think they had sex. Yeah. We didn't see much of them. Not Jasmina and Mike had sex. I think Noy and Steve had sex. Anyway, we see Mark and Lindsay. They're in bed all hugged up. The last time we saw them, they were fighting because Mark said he said he want no lovey-dovey, and he want to take a step back, and he want to go take it easy, and all that nonsense. And we can tell they made up. And we can tell that Mark has changed his mind about not being lovey-dovey. We can tell that right away. And I do not like Mark. I wasn't liking him, feeling him. See, this is episode what? When I say this is episode 6, I wasn't feeling episode 4, 5, and this episode. No. I think Mark is too immature to have a wife. And that's why when he first applied for this show, was it 6 years ago? They turned him down because they said he wasn't ready. And this time he's not ready either. He's too freaking immature. Excuse me. I think Mark is easily influenced. If the group says, the majority of people in the group says, oh, me and my wife are having problems, he said, oh yeah, me and Lizzie are having problems. If they say, oh, me and my wife, we're doing good. If the majority of them said, oh, me and my wife, our wives are doing good, we're doing great, then you'd be like, oh yeah, we're doing good too. I'm tickling my throat. It's always something. Okay. I don't know. Every time I get on here, it's just something. Yeah, Mark is too immature to get married. Mark doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he wants. Mark needs to get with Steve, and they need to go go find themselves. Go travel and find themselves. Anyway, we saw him apologize to Lindsay, and they decide to start fresh. So let's see. First, he consummated a marriage. Then he told her he wanted to pull back. And now he wants to start fresh. And it's day 4. He all over the place. He don't know what he wants. He's immature. But Lindsay's happy. And they were about to have breakfast, and he decides to say a prayer. And I think he's praying because he feels guilty for treating her badly. Talking about, oh, I don't know more lovey-dovey. I want to pull back. Yeah, he feels guilty after he having sex with her. He feels guilty. So they talk about religion, and they talk about having kids, and everything's going fine for them. Next time we see Lindsay, and she says that Mark is being browbeaten by his landlady / mother figure. Lindsay said that the landlady has been relentlessly calling and messaging Mark. Oh my gosh, on their honeymoon, this is what she's doing? She said about 4 or 5 times a day, she calls him or messages him. And the landlady wanted Mark to contact her immediately. So Lindsay's not happy about that. We find out later what's going on with him. But next we see Jasmina and Mike and Katina and Elijah Juan. They're on the beach and they're sitting down having drinks. And Katina wants to know if there's fish in the water. And Elijah Juan said, yes, there's fish in the water. And they all laughed at her. They ain't talking about nothing. They talk about the connection they have with each other, with, their spouses. And they talk about the things that they have in common with the spouses. And Jasmina brings up how she's open-minded and how Mike is closed-minded. Again, they're talking about the same craps. For 3 episodes now, Jasmina and Mike talking about the same crap. They have problems communicating. Elijah Juan brings up again how he likes to push his wife. And that's it. They have nothing to talk about. Anyway, back to Lindsay and Mark. They're holding hands and doing a little step dancing, step walking type thing. And they're happy. They seem to be enjoying each other. They go to get massages. Mark said he has a bed bug situation in his apartment. I guess that's why the landlady was calling him. And he says he's stressed about it. And he's happy that he's getting a massage to relax. After the massage, him and Lindsay go sit down and they're talking. And Mark said his landlady is a friend. But he is shocked by her behavior. I guess she's pissed that he has a bed bug problem. And Lizzie she's talking to the camera, and she said apparently Mark's landlady changed Mark's lease saying no cats when she knew he had cats. And Lizzie's pissed. So Lindsay tells Mark that he never has to go back to that apartment, and he can move all his stuff into her house. And Mark talks to the camera, and he says he feels like he is in another world. Again, now things are going too fast for you again, Mark. Things are just moving too fast with this fool. What happened? What do you think happens when you marry at first sight? You know about the show. You applied 6 years ago, so I'm pretty sure you've been watching. You get married at first sight, you go on a honeymoon, and then you move in an apartment together. That's fast-paced compared to a regular dating and marriage and honeymoon and living together. That's fast-paced. Now talking about things are moving too fast for him. That's what happens on this show. You get married, you go on a honeymoon, you come back and you live together, and then you see if you're gonna stay together, and then at the end you make a decision whether or not you're gonna stay or not. What is he talking about? Is it moving too fast again for him? He doesn't belong on this show. He shouldn't have applied for this show. He's too freaking immature. He wasn't ready for this. He's not talking about everything moving too fast again. He is lucky that he's with Lindsay, because if he wasn't with Lindsay, he would have all kinds of problems. He would have bedbugs problems, landlord problems, lease problems, cat problems, he had all kinds of problems. See, you lucky Lindsay's there to save the damn day. He wasn't there to save her when she had a disagreement with Elijah Juan, and then when Katina, yelled at her and told her what she thought about her. Oh, Mark can't handle it. It's too much. It's too much. I can't handle it. The sky's falling. Stop. I can't handle it. But look how you're having a problem, and Lindsay jumps in with both feet to save you. He's a moron. I could have no husband like that. So Lindsay has it all planned out. She said Mark will move into her house, and then they'll go to the apartment. They'll live in the apartment. And he said he feels weird that somebody's doing things for him. Hello, Mark. A marriage is a partnership. If something is up with her, something's up with you. If something bad is happening to her, that's saying something bad is happening to you. If something bad is happening to you, then something bad is happening to her. That's why it's a partnership. You help each other, you work it out. You don't just say, oh, I'm done. I'm stepping back. I don't like this. It's going too fast. You don't say that. No. You figure it out, you work it out, and you get along. Get it done. 4 days he talking about after he done slept with a woman, he's going to talk about he wants to step back. No more lovey-dovey. Man, get out of here. Get the hell out of here, Mark. If I was Lindsay, I would say, what? You got bed bugs problem? Your lease about to expire? I'd be like, I'm stepping back. I can't handle it. It's too much. I'm petty like that. He's lucky. Lindsay's not petty like that. I'm like, oh, that's too much. I'm stepping back. I can't handle that. That's too much. No more lovey-dovey. Anyway, back to Alyssa. Okay, we see Alyssa. She's talking to the producer, saying that she is sick of being stuck in a terrible situation. And she's saying she feels miserable, and she says she's being portrayed in a very poor light. She said she is sick of effing trying to, she says the word. She actually says the word. I'm not going to say it. I mean, I say it sometimes, but I try not to say it. It's a crude word. She said she is sick of effing trying, and she is sick of being positive and trying to have a good day. You're sick of being positive? Why are you sick of being positive? She's sick of trying to have a good day. We all strive to have a good day. Every day we strive to have a good day. She's sick of having a good day, of trying to have a good day. And she's sick of being positive. She said she's sick of being the good person. You're sick of being a good person? Okay. And she's sick of taking the high road. And she said, but everyone is shitting on her. Who's shitting on you? Who? Chris isn't. Chris is not shitting on you. Chris just wants answers to some damn questions. That's all. And he keep asking you the questions, and you won't tell him the answers. So he's gonna keep asking until you decide to tell him. Who is shitting on you? The producer's not shitting on you. The producers treat you like you're gold. Who is shitting on you? The other couples are like, oh, what's going on here? Ooh, what's going on here? And they tiptoeing around you. So who is shitting on you? I don't know what she's talking about. And she's crying, boo-hooing. I don't know what that's all about. You know what? Alyssa needs a pacifier. Give her a pacifier and put her to bed. That's what she needs, okay? So producer one asked her if she wants to talk to Chris. And she said very aggressively, no! I do not want to talk to him. I hate him. That's what she says. What has he done for you to hate him? Because he won't give up the apartment so you can have it all to yourself? That's why she hates him. Because he will not give up the apartment to her so she can have the apartment all to herself. He's a piece of work. She said he is an effing asshole because he will not give up the apartment so she can live in there all by herself. Who is the asshole? Who? She says he is disrespectful and rude and he's doing me dirty. Who says that? He's doing me dirty. And he is effing disgusting. She said, no, she didn't say, she said, it's effing disgusting that a man is treating a woman like that, who has been nothing but nice to him. That's what she says. She's been nothing but nice to Chris, and it's disgusting how he's treating her. What is he doing to her? Because he won't give up the apartment so she can live there all by herself. She said he comes off as this good guy, but guess what? He's a effing car salesman who sells houses. What? He's a car salesman who sells houses. That's a good thing. If he's selling cars, he's getting a hell of a commission. If he's selling houses, he's getting a hell of a commission. So what the hell are you talking about? What's wrong with a car salesman? They make good money, good commission. What is she talking about? They'll get you a good deal on a freaking car, heifer. She's crazy. She says he's an effing car salesman who sells houses. What? What's wrong with selling houses? What's wrong with selling cars? I don't know. Why does he think he can move into the apartment and I don't get to move into the apartment? See, this is what all this is about. She's pissed that he is going to move into the apartment and she's not going to move him because she doesn't want to live with him. So that's your fault, Alyssa, not his. He's doing what he's supposed to do. All couples are supposed to move into this apartment. He is going to move into the apartment. You decided you're not going to move in the apartment because you don't want to live with him. So who's doing something wrong here? Who? And she's just cussing him out. He's disgusting. He's rude. He's doing her dirty. Anyway, this woman, she's a joke. She's a total joke. She says, why can't I hang out with my girls? She's talking about Jasmina and Katina. They're her girls. She's known them for 4 days. She's known them for 4 days. They're her girls. When I think it was the matchmaking episode, she said her mom was her best friend. She don't have any friends. She has no friends. And I can understand why. She said, why can't I hang out with my girls? Because your girls are going to be with their husband, trying to figure out their schedule, waking up, going to bed, working, coming home, cooking dinner. They're going to be trying to figure out their lives together. True, the group get together every once in a while, but for the most part, they're together with their spouses trying to, figure out a way of living together and cohabiting together and being husband and wives together. They're not going to be hanging out with you. Why can't I hang out with my girls? Because this is not a singles hang out with my girls show. This is Married at First Sight. And you need to be with your husband, heifer. She's something else. Why can't I hang out with my girls? She said the only time she is happy here is when she is with one of the girls or sitting by herself. So go sit down by yourself and be happy. How about you do that? How about you go do that? Go sit down somewhere in a corner by yourself. She said she is not being portrayed in a good light. And you're not being portrayed in a good light because you are horrible. You're horrible. The camera records what you say and what you do. True, they like to edit stuff out. Put what you say here and put what you say here and put what you say here. But the things that are coming out of your mouth, it's all you. All you. All you. She said her mom is very upset. She said her mom is mad because she thinks that she is not being nice to Chris. And you're not being nice to Chris. And she goes, and I am being nice to Chris. You're not. You're not. You just got through saying he's rude, he's doing you dirty, he's disrespectful, and all this stuff. But, you know what? She says, I'm a good person. And if I don't come off that way on this show, I'm going to be effing pissed. So be pissed. What were you going to... Who cares if you're pissed? You're pissed right now. And she's a spoiled, rotten brat, and she wants people to tippy-toe around her and give her everything she wants. That's all. One of the guys she was talking to said, at the end of the day, this show is called Married at First Sight, not Single at First Sight. Somebody told her that. One of the guys told her that. I don't know if it was a producer or who. And I'm not sure if he said this. I was trying to catch what he was saying. He said something about, since you are not a couple, I'm assuming you're done. I think that's what he said. And then they edited all this stuff up, because I heard her say, then she said, I don't care about other people. It's the way I feel. So I guess she was saying something, but they only caught that part. I don't know. I don't know what she was talking about right here. I mean, I know what she was talking about, but I don't know where that came from. Who said something to her for her to say this sentence? Then she said, she's not being dramatic. I guess they're asking her questions, but they're not showing us or letting us hear what they're asking her, because she said she's not being dramatic. And then she said, it's what the F is happening. She said, I'm not being dramatic. It's what the F is happening. I guess she's saying she's not being dramatic about the way she feels about Chris. This is what's really happening. And she says she feels like she's handling this situation better than anyone in the group would handle it. You don't know these people. You don't know how they would handle a situation if they found themselves not attracted to who they're with. You don't know how they would act. And one of the crew said to her, you have to decide, am I willing to try to show up? I couldn't really hear what they were saying. And if the answer is yes, there's somewhere to go, right? Are they talking about her going to the apartment? I don't know what they're talking about. And then Alyssa said, guess we just have to figure it out, but not today. So I guess they're trying to talk to her about being in the apartment. I think they're going to find her another apartment. Just like they found her another hotel room, they're probably going to find her a better apartment, because they cater to Alyssa. They cater to her. They treat her like she's gold, like her shit don't stink. And they said, we have to figure this out soon because they're moving in soon. So they're talking about the apartment. And then someone hugs her and told her that she's going to be all right. Of course she's going to be all right. Nobody's doing anything to her. She's doing it all to herself. Chris says, I'm moving into the apartment and you decide what you want to do. Nobody's doing anything to her. That's what he's supposed to do. They're all supposed to move into the apartment. If she decides not to do it, then she decides not to do it. What do they want from him? He's not doing anything to her. They're going to hug her and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to... Hell, somebody needs to hug Chris and say, Chris, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. They baby her. And it pisses me off. I don't know why they do that. When she's assassinating his character, talking about he's a effing car salesman who sells houses. And she's just going in on this man for no reason. The man has done nothing to her. All right. One of her previous interviews, she goes, I always get what I want. So now I think she's probably going to get her own apartment. Yeah, they're probably going to give her own apartment. Okay, next we see Jasmina and Katina. They meet up with Alyssa, and she tells them that it's hard to be around the happy couples because her ass is not happy. She tells them that Chris is blaming her, and I guess it's because they're not working out. Chris is blaming her. He's not blaming you for anything. He's asking you questions, and you're refusing to answer him. And she's upset because she says he's blaming her. Alyssa told them that she has put in all the effort like anybody else has here. Liar. He's asking you questions. You won't answer his questions. You're ignoring him. You won't talk to him. You won't acknowledge him. You won't even talk to him off camera. And you put in effort. He's moving into the apartment. You don't want to move into the apartment. He was supposed to move into the bedroom. You don't want to move into the bedroom. I mean, the hotel room. He moved into the hotel room. You don't want to move into the hotel room. Y'all could have moved into the hotel room and have separate beds. She wants to be nowhere near this man. Like this man has done something to her, and he has not done anything to her. Jasmina asked her if she feels as though she has done everything to make it work. And she doesn't answer the question. She doesn't answer the question. She mentions the things about what his friends said about him. And then Katina says, well, don't dwell on that. Don't think about that. Just get to know him. And then she told them she's doing her best to be respectful and honest. No, you're not. You just said he's disgusting. He's rude. He's doing you dirty. He's a car salesman who sells houses. But you're doing your best to be respectful. No, you're not being respectful for this man. The man is walking over to you and you tell the producers, tell him not to come over here. The man went scuba diving. He said you're going to stand here on the beach and watch him. You walk off. You're being rude. You don't talk to him. You don't acknowledge him. You ignore him. But you're being respectful. Just have fun. Katina asks Alyssa if she thinks that Chris is unclear as to why she threw in the towel so early. And he's not clear about it. She needs to tell him, it's clear to me why she's not with him. But she needs to tell him, look, I'm not physically attracted to you. This is not what I want. I want an annulment. Boom. That's what she needs to tell him. And she claims that Alyssa claims that she's had many conversations as to why she feels that they're not a match. And Katina told Alyssa that she doesn't think that she said, I don't think you're attracted to Chris. And she agrees. Alyssa agrees. No, I'm not attracted to him. I'm not physically attracted to him. She's not physically attracted to him, mentally, emotionally. She's not attracted to him at all. And then Alyssa said she didn't get what she asked for, what she asked the experts for. She didn't get what she asked for. 42 minutes? She said they should have just not matched her with anybody. Instead of matching her with Chris, they should have just not matched her with anybody. And Katina told Alyssa that she needs to tell Chris that she is not physically attracted to him. She needs to come out and say, I'm not physically attracted to you. I don't think she has to say that. Just say, I don't want to be in this marriage. For my own personal reasons, I don't want to be in this marriage. That's all. Don't tell a man you're not physically attracted to him. And Jasmina says in her confessional that Alyssa was done from day one and she feels bad for Chris. Okay, now next we're on to Chris. Chris is in his room and he calls his sister. Her name is Carmen. And he tells his sister that Alyssa has concerns about them and she doesn't want to talk about these concerns. True, she doesn't want to talk about it. He keeps asking her questions and she don't want to answer him. He tells his sister that Alyssa has walked out on a lot of conversations. Yeah, when she feels uncomfortable or she thinks she's being attacked, she think they're portraying her in a bad way, she gets up and walks away. Yeah, he tells her that she walks out on a lot of conversations and she gets really defensive when he says, you didn't give it a chance. And that's true. He tells his sister that he told the crew to ask Alyssa to talk to him in private. He tells his sister that Alyssa does not think they are compatible. He told his sister that Alyssa feels robbed because she didn't get the person she wanted. So he knows that she's not physically attracted to him. He knows that already. If he's telling his sister all this, then he knows that. His sister said she doesn't know if she got the person she wanted because she's not even getting to know you. And that's true. But she didn't tell the producers she wanted someone. Well, yes, she did. She told the pastor that she wanted someone who was cute. He said, what are you looking for? She said, someone who's cute. That's the first thing she said. Someone who's cute, but someone who's loyal and kind and nice. That's what she said. But cute was the first thing that came out of her mouth, and he's not cute. So she didn't get what she wanted, I guess. I don't know. The sister said that Alyssa's mother was saying to her that Alyssa needs someone like Chris who is calm because Alyssa tends to fly off the handle. And she cries all the time, and she needs someone to bring her back down to earth. Who wants that responsibility? That's true what the mother says, because that's exactly what she's doing. Crying and flying off the handles and acting erratically. So this is what she does on a regular. That's what her mom says she does. This is what she does on a regular. But who wants that responsibility of him to bring her back down to earth? Not me. I mean, Chris. Who wants that responsibility? The guy that she was engaged to didn't want the responsibility. That's why he called her up and said, I'm not coming home. I'm done. Goodbye. Chris' sister told him to cut his losses. And I agree, Chris. Cut your damn losses and get out. There's going to be plenty of women watching this show that's going to want Chris. Plenty of women. Chris tells his sister that he's at the point of cutting his losses. He's really getting tired of this. And I say, abort, Chris, abort. So next we see Chris, he meets up with Lindsay and Mark. And Lindsay asks Chris what happened. Lindsay gets right to the point. And Chris told Lindsay and Mark that the night after the wedding, Alyssa told him that she had some concerns and she wouldn't talk to him. The next day, she told him that they were not compatible. Lindsay said she's confused. She told Chris that Alyssa didn't give him a chance. And Lindsay told Chris that because he didn't fit the vision Alyssa had in her head physically, she instantly wrote him off. See, even Lindsay is saying you didn't fit the man she wanted physically. She's not physically attracted to you, Chris. Chris says he doesn't know if that's the reason. Then what's the reason, Chris? The girl is not physically attracted to you, and that's all she cares about is being physically attracted to you. She don't give a damn what's up here or what's in your heart. She doesn't care about that. She just wants you to look good on the outside. That's it. And I don't understand how come he doesn't know that. Lindsay told Chris that he is just probably exactly what Alyssa needs. Why do I keep telling him that? Nobody is what she needs. Nobody needs that little tyrant sourpuss heifer in their lives. She's got to change her ways before somebody's going to want her. She's crazy. I think Alyssa, I think she needs to go somewhere and suck on a pacifier for real. Lindsay said that 10 years from now, Lizzie's going to regret her actions. No, not 10 years from now. 20 years from now when she's in her 50s. That's when she's going to regret it. That's when she's going to regret it. You see, she's 30 right now. 10 years to be 40. 20 years from now, when she's in her 50s, that's when she's going to regret the way she is. That's when she's going to humble herself. When she's in her 50s and she's all alone, she don't have no friends, she don't have no boyfriend, she don't have nothing. That's when she's going to regret. She's going to be humbled. Chris tells Lindsay and Mark that he thinks that they are compatible. Oh my God. You are not compatible with her. He's another one. She wants somebody that look pretty on the outside, and he sees that to him, she's pretty on the outside. That's why he's not giving up. You see, so they're kind of doing the same thing. She wants somebody who's pretty. That's why she's treating him like crap. He thinks she's pretty on the outside. That's why he's hanging in there and holding on by a thread. So, Mark asks Chris what is going to happen tomorrow when they go home. Chris said he can only control what he does. And Mark says to the camera that Chris needs to let go. And I agree. Let go of that heifer. Let go of her. But you know what? He's also signed a contract too. So, and he's trying his best. There's nothing he can really do. So what I think he should do is just play it low. Play it cool. Move into the apartment and just live his life. Talk to the experts. Say, she don't want to talk to me. She don't want to tell me what's wrong. I'm here for the long haul. And all I can do is, be here in case she comes and say, let's try and make this work. Because he signed a contract too, so he can't just bounce. Well, he can if he wants to, but if I was him, I wouldn't. I would just stick it out so that way he can say he stuck it out the whole way through. Okay, let me see. So we see Lindsay and Mark. They're flying a kite and they're having a good time. And Lindsay says a whole bunch of nice, wonderful, amazing things about Mark. But wait, I think Lindsay should wait for it. Mark is going to disappoint her again because he's not ready for love. He's not ready to for marriage. He's not. So he's gonna disappoint her again. Ooh, I'm 50 minutes in. I'm gonna hurry up. So we got Jasmina and Mike. Jasmina and Mike, they're at the waterfall. And they're at the same place that Noy and Steve was at. Green water. Green river water. And you notice we don't see much of Mike and Jasmina. It's like I said last week, they have nothing to talk about. So guess what they do? They show a clip from last episode because they have nothing on these two, on this couple. Absolutely nothing. So they show a clip from last week when she was saying she was mad at him. Fake mad at him. They made up a fake story. I think the producers made up a fake story for them. Or they told them to make up a fake story. So Jasmina doesn't want to get in the water. And I don't blame her. The water is green. And I also wonder what kind of critters are in that water. And they have nothing going on. Yeah, they show footage from last week about the fake argument. Jasmina is still harping on the fact that they have problems communicating. And out of nowhere, what's his name? I'm calling him Mark. Mike tells a story about when he was 6 years old, how some bully beat him up on the bus. And then he asked her for a hug. He should have went and got his brother and sisters because he's the youngest in the family. His brother and sisters are older. He should have went and got his brother and sister to handle this bully. So the next thing we see, they get into the water. Oh no, he tried to carve their names into the fungus that's on the rock, and he wasn't able to do it. So the next thing we saw them, they're in the water. They get in the water. They're having a good time. They're taking pictures, and that's the end of them. Okay. So now it's the last day of the honeymoon, and the couples are all gonna have dinner. They're getting ready to have dinner together, and they all sit down at the table. They talk about having kids. Mark asks about the bumps in the marriages, and Mike says about not being good at communicating again. Elijah one talks about pushing his wife to the limit. Steve is a coward. Steve says the way he touches and interacts with Noy, that tells her how he feels about her. He's not gonna say it verbally. He's a coward. Okay? And Mark says he has someone to count on in Lindsay because she is going to save him from his bed bugs apartment and his horrible landlord. Too bad she can't say he'll always be there for her to save her, right? Okay, so my girl Lindsay, let me see, what happened? Oh, my girl Lindsay, she asks Chris and Alyssa what bumps they have in their relationship. What bumps they have in their marriage. And Alyssa said they are taking it day by day. And Mark said to the camera that Chris said to the camera that if he and Alyssa are done, then he wants her to say it to the camera and in front of everyone. And that's the truth. That's what she should do. But she's not going to do that because she thinks it's going to make her look bad. She's going to be portrayed badly. So Noy took the spoon from Lindsay and now she's stirring the pot. She asks what's going to happen. She asks Chris and Alyssa what's going to happen when they get back to Boston if they're going to move into the apartment. And Alyssa said that her plan is for Chris to move into the apartment for the first half and then she'll move in for the second half. And I love Chris in this scene. Chris said, that is not something I'm interested in. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Chris said, I love all of you, but I didn't come here for you guys. Chris said, I am either all in or all out. Chris said he is not going to keep putting himself out there and not getting anything back. Chris was on. He was on. Alyssa, she does not understand why Chris won't compromise with her. She thinks him living in there for 1 month, I think it's a 2-month thing, him living in there for 1 month, and then she living in there for another month, that's compromising. That's not compromising. You're supposed to move in with your husband. You're supposed to move in there with your husband. If he's in there by himself, 1 month, and then you're in here by yourself the next month. That's not living with your husband. So this is married at first sight. So what the hell? That's not compromising. That's giving you what you want, you little spoiled brat. Alyssa is a dunce. She's a dunce. That's not compromising. That's not compromising at all. And Alyssa is done, but she doesn't want to say she's done. She just wants to live in the apartment by herself. She said Chris is trying to make her look bad. How is Chris trying to make you look bad? Chris is moving into the apartment and he said, do whatever you want to do. How is that making you look bad? Chris is doing what he's supposed to do. She looked bad all by herself. Oh, sourpuss. I like that name, sourpuss. Oh, she said he's trying to make her look bad, but it won't happen because she's not a bad person. And she's a really effing good person. She keeps saying that constantly. Nobody has to go around saying, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. Nobody has to do that. People automatically see if you're a good person. Nobody has to go around screaming to the top of their lungs, I'm a good person. And that's what she keeps doing. Chris told Alyssa at the table that if she is all out, then so is he. And then he says if she is only 1% in, then he is all in. Alyssa said she wants everyone to know that it's not her fault that this happened. And she knows in her mind that it is her fault. She knows it's her fault. And she keeps saying, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. I'm a good person, I'm a good person. Because she keeps telling herself that. She has to keep telling herself that to believe it. So Lindsay tried to when she was saying all that, Lindsay tried to hide a smile. And this heifer says to Lindsay, don't do that while I'm talking. And Lindsay says, I'm not doing anything. Good girl, Lindsay. I'm glad you kept your cool. Because if another girl would have reached across the table and punch her in the nose, now I'm doing something. Stop. Let me stop. I'm not a violent person. Never had to fight a day in my life. Don't even know how to make a fist. Never had to fight a day in my life. A physical fight a day in my life. Anywho, Alyssa said she wants everyone to remember that she came into this with the best intentions as everyone else did, and she put in all the work. That's exactly what she said to Katina and Jasmina, because this is what she practices in the mirror. She wrote it out, and then she practices in the mirror. She practices in the mirror. This is what she says. She writes things down and practices in the mirror, because she keeps saying the exact same damn thing all over and over again. She says the same thing. Lindsay says everything coming out of Alyssa's mouth is bullshit. Yes, it is. It is. Alyssa starts crying at the table. She says this hasn't been easy for her. And Miss Old Soapus, she just wants some sympathy. And guess who gives her sympathy? Katina and freaking Noy. They gives her sympathy. Notice my girl Jasmine didn't say a word. My girl Jasmine just sat back. She didn't say one damn word. She ain't gonna give her no sympathy. Crocodile tears. Come on, stop it. And Chris basically said, cut the shit. He didn't say that. I'm saying. He said, she's crying and stuff. He like, cut the shit. He says, are you in or out? Just tell me, are you in or out? And she says she's not talking about this in front of everybody. If she was in, she goes, yes, I'm in. If she was in, she'd be like, yes, I'm in. I'm here. I'm in. But instead, she doesn't say anything. She goes, I'm not talking about this. Because guess what? She's not in. She's out. Because this is a yes or no question. Yes, I'm in. No, I'm not in. She don't want to say no in front of everybody and the cameras because she'll look bad. Next is Lindsay and Mark. They are sitting together, and Mark tells Lindsay that he's proud of her behavior with Alyssa at the dinner table. Mark, go get a damn life. Mark is a wimp. He's a total wimp. When somebody's coming at you, and if you feel like you need to defend yourself, defend yourself. He's a wimp. He's glad that she shut up and didn't say anything to get Alyssa upset. Mark has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he doesn't know how to handle hiccups in life. If something happens, oh, I can't handle it. No, 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 no. The sky is falling. No, I can't do it. He does not know how to handle a hiccup. When things happen in life, things happen. Life is not smooth sailing. Horrible things happen. We have to deal with it. Everybody deal with a situation differently. It gets on my nerves. So Elijah Juan, he's all in for Chris. We see him telling the camera that he said Chris is pouring his heart out in a powerful way. He said Alyssa should listen with her ears and not with her eyes. And exactly. I don't like you, Elijah Juan. Stop trying to make me like you. Stop it. He's right. She's not listening with her ears. She's listening with her eyes. She doesn't like what she sees in front of her, so she can't hear anything that he has to say. He said Chris is embarrassing himself for Alyssa, and he doesn't understand how Alyssa can't feel for Chris. And I understand what he's saying. Chris is a human being. He hasn't done anything to you. Treat him as like a human being. Treat him like he's a human being. He has feelings. She's not treating him like he's, like she's treating him like crap. But Alyssa treats him that way because guess what? Alyssa only cares about Alyssa. She cares about nobody else but herself. Selfish. Elijah once said his heart hit the floor and came back up his chest the way Chris was pouring his heart out to Alyssa. Now everybody see what she is. When she sees that when she watched the show back and she sees that, how is she gonna feel? I wonder how she's gonna. I haven't heard anything about him though. Usually I hear things about the cast because the show is over with and they're watching it like we're watching it, And usually, but I don't even watch that after show thing. I don't care to watch it. But I don't know. Next we see Alyssa and Chris sitting down talking. Chris brings up them sharing the apartment. Alyssa said she wants to move into the apartment in order to participate with the group. The group is not participating like that. The group participates every once in a while. Mostly the couples are going to be together trying to live their lives to see how they get along, going to work, coming home from work, cooking, eating. They're not going to be hanging out too often with other people. They're mostly going to be together with their spouse. So she's talking about she wants to hang out with the group. And I don't want to touch on everything they said. They went back and forth constantly. He asked her if she could adjust to somebody who isn't perfect. And she said yes, she can adjust to somebody who's not perfect. He set her up for this one. And he asked her if she has talked to him about things he can adjust. And she goes, yes, I talked to you about things you can adjust. He said, what? And all I heard was crickets. She couldn't think of one thing that she talked up to him about that he needs to change or would improve their relationship or anything. And then she said, she is not able to have the conversation. See, that's what she do. When they ask her a question, when he asks her a question and she doesn't want to respond, she says, I'll talk to you about this later. Or I'll talk to you off camera. She never answers his question. So she said, I'm not able to have that conversation right now. He said, when can we have the conversation? She said, next week. He said, when can we talk about this? She said, next week. Not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow, not a couple of hours from now, next week. Now, next week is 7 days in next week. Which day of next week? Chris he's not playing with the old sourpuss today. He asked her, when did you tap out? Chris, you know when she tapped out. She tapped out the night of the wedding when she was in that room and you were sitting in the lobby and she was talking crap about you. That's when she tapped out, okay? She said, I did not tap out. I am here. You are there because you signed a contract, not because you want to be there. You're there because you signed a contract and you have to be there. He said, when did you tap out with me? Not with the experience, with me. Chris ain't playing with her today. She said she had a chance to leave yesterday and she did not go. What I got to do with anything? He said, when did you tap out? Come on, anybody have a chance to leave. Anybody can leave if they want to. What do you mean? You're not, she had a chance to leave, but she didn't. What does that mean? Okay, you did him a favor by staying. Let's bow down to Sourpuss Alyssa. Let's thank her for her presence here. She graced us with her presence. Let's bow down. She had a chance to leave, but she decided to stay. Thank you for your presence, girl. Chris asked her if she is there, if there's a potential for them. And she said she is not going to give him an answer. Because if she says no, there's no potential here, she looked like an asshole. She doesn't want to look like an asshole on TV. But she is already looking like an asshole. So that's why she won't answer the question. Because if the answer was yes, she'd be like, of course there's potential for us, Chris. Of course. But the answer is no. It's a hard no. And she doesn't want to say it on camera. Oh, I'm over an hour. Ooh. And she said, it's not fair to me to answer that question. What do you mean it's not fair to you to answer that question? She just doesn't want to look bad on TV. Oh, God. She told him that they are both in the same situation. He said, oh, hell no, we're not. He didn't say all that, but he said, no, we're not. I'm saying, he said, hell no, we're not. They're not in the same situation. He wants to make this marriage work. He wants to give it a chance. She doesn't. So they're not in the same situation. Chris told her, if you don't think we are compatible and you don't want to try, then you can have the apartment. That's what he told her. He'll tap out. If you tell me, no, we're done. We're not compatible. I don't want this anymore. Then you can have the apartment. That's what he's telling her. And she still refused to give him an answer because if she says, yes, that's right, I'm done, then she looks like an asshole on TV. And she, for some reason, don't want that, even though she's already looking like an asshole on TV. So she gets pissed. And she says to him, she goes, he's not being fair. She's talking to the producer also. He's not being fair. He's disrespectful. She says he's poking her. She says he's making her upset. She says she does not like how he is speaking to her. All he did was ask her a question. Are you in or out? That's all he did. She does not like the way he is portraying her. He asks you a freaking questions. How is he portraying you? She said she doesn't like the way he's portraying the conversation. She didn't like how he portrayed her at dinner. He asks you the same question at dinner. If you're 1% in, I'm all in. If you're all out, I'm all out. That's what he said. He's making her look bad. He's making you look bad because you're not answering his question. That's why you're looking bad. And the answer is no, you're not all in, but you're not going to say it because you don't want to look bad, even though you're already looking bad. Oy, she's exhausting. Poocha. She says she is disgusted. You're disgusted. I'm disgusted. Mark said to the camera that he knows for sure that she has no interest in this. It's not that she has no interest in this, Chris. She has no interest in you. Get it right. Get it in your head. And Chris told her she didn't know what she was getting into. And the producers, they like to coddle Alyssa. I think she made one of those guys must be crushing on her because they constantly cuddle her. They're telling Chris, give her a little bit more time. A little more time for what? For what? And the producers, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. She already told them that she hated Chris and that Chris was an effing asshole and was effing disgusting. She already told them that. So what are you telling Chris to give her more time for? I think when those producers like her and they're crushing on her because they give her what she wants. They baby her, they coddle her. Melissa, everything's going to be all right. One of them messing with her or one of them want to mess with her. And they're just asking him to give, Chris to give her more time. More time for what? I don't know. Chris told the producer that she is not here for the right reasons. And it's the truth. She's not here for the right reasons now because now that she realized she's not attracted to him, she's here now because she signed a contract and she wants to chill out, relax She probably took time off for work. She wants to live in this nice apartment, and she wants to chill out, relax, and have a good time. So she's not here for the right reasons. And this is when Sourpuss let loose. You thought Sourpuss let loose before? She's gonna let loose again. She said this is not fair. She said she's not going to stand for that. She said she is here for the right reasons. She's not here for the right reasons. She said she want to hang out with her girls. This show is called Married at First Sight, not hanging out with my girls at first sight. She said, I want to move into the apartment and hang out with my girls. You're not here for the right reasons anymore. Once you realize you were not attracted to him physically, you realize that you cut out on that altogether, and now you want to be here for the experience, not for the experience as a married woman, for the experience of just being on TV. Okay, so she's not here. She says she's here for the right reasons. She said this is the person I'm going to be shown as, and that's not okay. She said she is really a good effing person. How many times she said that? The amount of times she said that, if I had $1 for the amount of times she says I'm a really good effing person, I could retire right here, right now, and live a nice, comfortable life. Okay? She said she came here with the right intentions, blah, 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 blah. You came here with the right intentions if you got an Adonis, a person with a pretty face. The face ain't pretty enough for you, you're out. You're just going to stay here and write it through with the cameras and with the nice apartment. So you're here for the wrong reasons. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. And then she's blah, 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 blah. She said a whole bunch of crap, and then she exits stage left. And Chris basically says to the camera that she is not going to, she's not going to say how she really feels, because she doesn't want the consequences to bite her in the ass. He didn't say those words. Those are my words. But that's what he's basically saying. She's not going to say how she really feels, because there's consequences to what she says. When she says, no, I'm not feeling you, people are going to be like, oh, this bitch, she thinks she's going to look bad. But we already know you're not physically attracted to him. So the next day, the couples, they wake up, they have breakfast, and they talk to each other. They ain't saying nothing good, nothing exciting, nothing interested. And they fly their butts back to Boston. Oh my God, that was too much. At 1 hour and 12 minutes. This is a long video. Because of that, on Alyssa and Mark. Why do I keep saying Mark? Alyssa and Chris. Okay, this is the end of my review / recap. I will be back next week. I can't wait for next week. They're going to move in together. I can't wait. I'll be back next week with another review. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Princess on a Pillow here. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.